Good morning to everyone. So today's objective will be we are going to start with the selenium fundamentals. So today's objective will be we are going to discuss about the selenium fundamentals. So what is selenium? Why selenium is important? What are the different components are available in selenium? And what is selenium ID, selenium WebDriver, and how to use the selenium WebDriver scripts. So we'll start with the introduction part. So Selenium is a suite of testing automation tool which is used for web-based application. So, so the first thing is Selenium is a functional testing tool which is basically used for the web application. So whatever the web application, whatever the web application we are creating, if you want to validate the functionality of the developed web application, we can use a Selenium framework. Selenium tool is basically used for only web-based application. If you are developing a product in the window-based application, we cannot use the Selenium. Next thing, Selenium will have a different components where Selenium ID, it stands for Selenium Integrated Development Environment, Selenium RC, Selenium Remote Control, Selenium WebDriver, and the last one will be a Selenium Grid. So these are the four different components are available. I will tell you the major difference between all these four different components. These tools provide a rich set of testing functions specific to testing all type of web application. The operations provided by the tools are highly flexible and afford many options for comparing UI elements to expected application behavior. So this Selenium automation tool will have a strong and highest features and functionality. Help of that, we can able to verify any working functionality or any element which is present in your product. You can check the application login functionality. You can check the different transaction. What are the different transactions are available? If you consider online shopping, we have like on registration, login, search the product, add the product in the cart, making a payment, try to buy the product. So all the different behaviors can be verified and validated with the help of the Selenium. Selenium test can be executed on multiple browser platforms. So that means there is no limitations that you have to use only the specific browser. You can execute your code, you can check the application behavior, how it works on Chrome. You can check the application behavior, how it works on Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Safari. So you can able to check all the different browsers by making your code, so that you can able to consider the functional testing as well as you are trying to check the compatibility of your product with a different set of the browsers. Why do we need to learn Selenium? Why? What is the objective? What is the added benefit? What is the advantage that we have to go for the Selenium functional testing tool? As I said earlier, there are different functional testing tools are available in market, but still we are giving more highest priority for learning Selenium. Why? Because these are the couple of reasons why do we need to go for the Selenium. It is used to increase your marketability, as a lot of Java plans growing industry standard, assist with the deployment defect-free code, open source. The main reason will be it is a open source. So Selenium is the Apache Foundation where it is completely web open source application where you can able to use the Selenium testing tool to verify any web oriented application. The second more important advantage of Selenium is it supports multiple language. For example, if I consider the automation tool called UFT, which will works through the VB scripting. But nowadays, the latest versions supported JavaScript also, but we have only two options. Either we need to know VB scripting or we need to know JavaScripting to work on the UFT concept or load runner. But in Selenium, it gives a couple of another option also. Like you can use Selenium with Java, Selenium with Ruby, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C#, Selenium with PHP. So if you are comfortable with Java, so what I can do is I can use a Selenium Java WebDriver. If I am comfortable with the C#, I will use Selenium with the C# WebDriver. So depend on the platform, depend on the programming language platform which the tester is comfortable, we can make a testing code or we can write the test cases on those particular platform and you can able to validate your project. So why do we need to learn Selenium? What is the objective for learning Selenium is the main objective will be it supports a multi-platform language. It supports a multi-browser. You can validate your application. You can write your test cases on any coding like a Java, Ruby, Python. Only you need those particular WebDriver. You need to configure those particular WebDriver in your Java. You can verify your application on different browsers. Reason this all you have to go for learning. So first we discussed about, second we discussed medium. See, these are the very basic informations I'm trying to share you about why do we need learn Selenium. We must have lot more other the Selenium in the testing project. Next, we can see the different components which is present inside the Selenium. We have a components called Selenium ID, which is called as a Selenium Integrated Development Environment. We have Selenium RC Remote Controller, which nowadays we are not implementing the Selenium RC concept anymore. Selenium WebDriver, and the last one will be a Selenium Grid. Selenium ID, rapid prototyping tool for building the test script. It can be used by developers with a little to no programming experience to write the simple test quickly and gain familiarity with the science commands. As a recording features that records users' live actions that can be exported in one of many programming language. Does not provide iterations or conditional statement for the test scripts. So basically, Selenium ID is a add-in for the browsers. It's an extension for the browsers. Initially, Selenium ID supports only the Mozilla Firefox, but nowadays we have an extension for Chrome also. So what exactly it is? It is a small extension which is basically used to record and run the business process. As if you remember, I have already informed that when we discussed yesterday about the automation methodology, there is the first common method called record and replay the scripts, where we can record the business process and we will run the business process. So Selenium IDE is one of the thing which is basically used to record the user activity and run the project into the application. It doesn't support any programming. It doesn't support any looping or any conditional statement. Or I can say, you can verify the process without implementing any additional programming and conditional statement. So nowadays, we are very little bit, like for example, if you ask out of 100%, I can say around 10 to 20% we are using Selenium IDE, but rest of the 80% we are considering some other Selenium components, not Selenium IDE. The next one is Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver designed to provide a simple, more concise programming interfaces in addition to addressing some limitation in the Selenium RC API, where API stands for the Application Programming Interface. So basically, what is Selenium RC? Selenium Remote Controller. So let me take a client-server communication. The client send the request to the server. So how the client send the request to the server? The client send the request through the browser. Browser take the request and reach to the appropriate web server. Now communicating your browser, we have two methods. One is we can connect directly or we can connect through some intermediate local server. The very simple example which we can consider, when we are working on our work environment, in our work environment, maybe our internet will be configured some local IP address. And if we want to connect anything in the internet, we have to bypass through those particular proxy. So basically what I'm doing, whatever I'm sending a request, all the request will goes to that particular local server. The server will filter those requests, then it will take the request and forward to the appropriate web server. When you are conducting a testing in this way, that is called as a Selenium RC. Another one method, I cannot use any intermediate server. I can directly pass my request to the web server, will be called as a Selenium WebDriver. Here you can see the difference between these two images. In Selenium RC, so this is the client and this is the browser. So if you want to send your request to the browser, you have to use some another local server which will be called as a Selenium RC server. So I am sending my request to this particular server. This server is not actually your targeted one. This is your local server which is used to filter the request, and after filtration this request will go to the browser, and from the browser it will reach to the appropriate web server. In the left side you can see this is my tool Selenium. Here I am going to write the Selenium commands with a different specific language, and I am going to pass this into my local server, and from this local server it will pass to the browser, and from this browser it will goes to the actual web server. So this is something called as a Selenium RC. When you talk about Selenium WebDriver, where you are directly communicating to the browser without using any local server. So here, whatever the Selenium commands I'm writing, so what I'm going to do is I have a Selenium tool and I have a browser. Let me take an example of my Chrome browser. So in the Selenium commands, I have written open Google in the Chrome browser. So when I run my command, automatically it will execute the Google page in the browser called Chrome browser. So that is the major difference between Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver, where Selenium ID is basically used to record and run your scripts, where Selenium RC is basically used to make or bypass all your requests through the local server, where Selenium WebDriver, where we are directly communicating with the actual web browser instead of bypassing through the local server. Now, apart from this Selenium ID, Selenium WebDriver and Selenium RC, the fourth component will be Selenium Grid. The Selenium Grid test can be run parallelly with simultaneous execution different tests on different remote machine. Suppose I created one test cases in my environment. Let's suppose, for example, we created a test cases on Chennai location, and we have some other environment, like for example, we have some couple of environments in Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune. So I want to run my test cases, but not sequentially. I want to run it through parallelly. When I'm going to run at the same time, all my machines which is located on my different platform and different environment should be get executed simultaneously. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the method called Selenium Grid method. Selenium Grid allows for running your test in a distributed test execution environment. It used to run your test against multiple browser, multiple versions of your browsers. See, with the help of the Selenium WebDriver, I can write my code, I can run my program in a different browser. Like first I can run in Chrome, second I can run in Mozilla, third I can run in Internet Explorer. But if you ask the question simultaneously, parallelly, I want to execute all this particular different browser, so I can go for the method called Selenium Grid. At the same time, if I want to execute all my different environments are allocated and located on different environment situations, like a remote environment, so in that case I will go for the Selenium Grid. So first is Selenium ID, second is Selenium Remote Controller, third is the WebDriver, and the last one will be the Selenium Grid. So depend upon the requirement, depend upon the scenarios, we are going to select this particular test Selenium method, and we are going to execute the test cases. Now you can see some of the differentiate between these three different environments. Selenium ID, it only works in the browser extension, not only Mozilla, it also supports Chrome. Where Selenium RC and WebDriver supports all the browsers. Whatever the browsers you want to test, you want to validate, you can able to validate your code with using the different browsers. Selenium ID supports record and playback, where Selenium ID supports record and playback, where Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver, it doesn't support recording. That means what we will do is, here we have to write our code manually and we have to execute, where in Selenium ID we don't want to write any code. So what happens in Selenium, everything will be a HTTP communication. I think you may aware about it. It should be like giving the input, getting the output. So if you remember, there is one method testing framework yesterday we discussed called keyword framework, table framework. So that is similar to Selenium ID, where we cannot write any code, everything will be a HTTP communication. It is a GUI plugin where Selenium WebDriver and Selenium RC is not a plugin, which will be an actual core API. The core engine for Selenium IDE is JavaScript based. RC is also JavaScript based, but Selenium WebDriver interacts with browser application. Selenium IDE very simple to use as it is a record and playback, where Selenium RC will be used for a small API, where Selenium WebDriver will be used for all small and complex related API. Selenium IDE is not an object oriented, where Selenium WebDriver and Selenium RC is the web object oriented testing tool. It does not support any listeners. Listeners in the sense, if you want to configure your execution results, reports in a different format and different type, which is not applicable on Selenium IDE, but it supports in Selenium WebDriver, and it doesn't support on Selenium RC also. Okay, so now today I will show you what all the steps need to be taken for creating a Selenium WebDriver code. Before that, I will show you how to conduct the testing using the playback methodology with the help of the Selenium IDE. So let me open my Selenium IDE here. So this is the Selenium IDE extensions. So first I am showing this demo how we can able to record and run the scripts with the help of the Selenium IDE component. So here you can see this is the Selenium IDE extension, browser extensions, Chrome browser extension. Create a new project. Let me give the project name as project. Selenium testing. And I'm giving the test case name is 1. Google search. So now what I created, so this is my GUI part. As I said earlier, Selenium IDE, which is called as a Selenium Integrated Development Environment, it's completely a extension and GUI concept. Here we are not going to write any code. Instead of that, everything will be a HTTP commands. This HTTP commands can be written manually, as well as we can also use the method called record playback method. So once you open this GUI part, here in the right side you can see there is an option called start recording. So when I click on start recording, after that whatever I am going to perform in the Chrome, all the data and all the activities will be get captured inside this particular tool, as it is considered as a GUI commands. In the left side you can see a test shoot and execution method. Test in the sense single test. Test shoot will be called as a group of test cases, and execution method. Now let me try to record something here. So I'll just go back, click on the start recording. So it will ask the URL address. So let me give http google.com. Start recording. So when I given the URL address, that specific URL has been opened in the Chrome. Why? Because this is the Selenium IDE for the Chrome extension, and here in the bottom of the screen you can able to see the, you can able to get a status that what exactly is happening. Here you can see the message called Selenium ID is recording. So let me write software testing and I'll click on Google search. So now whatever I'm doing at the same time in the back inside the GUI tool, every activities has been captured. I click on some links. So just imagine that I just want to conduct my testing. I want to conduct my business process up to this page. So I'll just close this browser and here there is a button called stop recording. So how much business you want to capture, how much transactions you want to capture, that much transactions I have recorded. Then I click on stop recording. And here you can see all the activity has been captured in the table format or in the keyword. Command, what is the command you are going to give? I'm going to give a command as open command. What is the target? What is the value? So command in the sense activities, what actions you are going to perform, where you are going to perform, that is a target. What is the value? If there is a user defined value, so I have to specify the user defined value. So the first line of code you can see open and here you can see /. So basically /, it's related to the root directory. So here already I have specified my base URL is www.google.com. So this / is redirecting this particular environment. And this is not a user defined value. I'm going to open this page, so the value has been blank. But when it comes to here, you can see the line number 3. I'm going to use the command called type. What I'm going to do, I'm going to write something where this is the targeted area. I will tell you later about what is this exactly. What is the value I'm going to pass? I'm going to pass the value as software testing. Now I'm going to run this code. Here you can see run current test. Click on run the current test. You can see whatever the activities we have performed, that will be re-executed and it will show you the result in the Selenium ID component. So this is basically how exactly I'm doing a very small record and run the scripts in Selenium ID. The same way you have to use a Selenium WebDriver where instead of using this particular record method, we have to write the code and we need to execute. All the things need to be done inside the Java Eclipse environment. I will also show you the demo of that also. So now let me see, this is my code has been get executed. So there are some errors as came because I have it is completely GUI event. So whatever actions I am doing inside the browser, everything will be get captured. So there are some mouse has been, I just moved my mouse here and there. So that event also we get captured. That is the reason this particular error shows this particular activity is not available on that particular link which you have clicked. So as I said, we are using very few percentage of this particular platform. Why? Because it is a GUI event. So there is a possibility there are some unwanted code might be get generated. So if you ask the question, is there any way that I can overcome this problem using this method? I don't want to generate all the code. Is it possible that I can write these particular commands? Yes, I can show you that. So in Selenium or in automation tool, there is some concept called object identification. Object identification in the sense you need to understand and identify the properties and values of that object for conducting a automation testing. For example, I will take one sample application. That is a sample application called demoaut.com. Okay, let me go for the Google itself. Okay, I will show you the this year itself. Okay, now object identification. So now my test case will be, I want to test this particular text box. What I want to test, I want to enter some text in this particular text and I want to click on the Google search. So this is my specification. So if I want to write something here, so I need to know about this particular text box. I want to know about this particular button. So let me create a new test cases here. Create a new test cases. Google search. This is my new test cases I'm going to create here. So now, first what I need to do is I want to open this particular Google link. So let me go back to my testing tool here. I have a command. So what I want to do is I want to open the Google page. So I can just type open. Yes, it is an ActiveX component. So I'm getting the type of command open is available. So I'll select the open command. Target. Suppose I can also give here the same target, no issues. So the target will be this one. The first line of code is I want to open this particular page. So let me run this particular commands to make sure whether Google is getting open or not. Yes, it is working fine. Now the second line is, here you can see the Google page has been get open. So after Google has been get open, I want to type software testing inside this particular text box. For that you have to use an object identification method which is called as a web element locator. So in Chrome we have one option to find out the web element locator, that is developer tool. If you go to the Chrome settings, more tools, where you can see developer tool. Using this developer tool, here we have an option called inspect element. So using this inspect element method, you can identify the properties and values of that particular object. See, in Selenium, this part is more important. Once you go to the Selenium WebDriver concept, if you want to write the WebDriver code, you need to learn much more information about this particular object identification method. So I click on this inspect object. I'll go to take my cursor and I will select the exact object which I want to learn. I'll click on that object. When I click on this object, here you can see I'm getting all the details about this particular object, like a length, the name of the object is Q, what is the type, it's a text box. At the same time, right side, I'm also getting the XPath information. Here you can see relative XPath, name, class name, CSS selector. So all these particular informations which is basically used to locate the element in that particular website. See what I'm doing here, I want to locate this element, because now if I'm going to execute manually, it is easy that manually I can go and check that particular element. But when you want to give the instruction to the tool, you need to specifically mention where the specific element is located. So to locate the element, we are going for this particular option. So now what I'm going to do is I'll come back to my tool. The second command, I'm going to pass the value. That means I'm going to enter the value type, and here I need to mention the target. So what I can do is I have a two option. Click on this. One second. Type name equal to, here you can see name equal to Q. name equal to Q, and what is the value I'm going to pass? Let me take Selenium. So the command is I want to type where the target equal to name equal to Q. What is the value I'm going to pass? I'm going to pass the value as Selenium. Now I'm going to run this. So when I run, it will open the Chrome. We'll type Selenium. See, you can see it's typed Selenium. Now the third test case will be, third step will be, after entering the value, I want to click on the button. So I'll again go back to my object, inspect element, Google search. So here you can see name equal to BTNK. So I'll just copy this value, go back to my test case, click, name equal to BTNK. Now let me run this code. You can see the output. It open Google in the Chrome browser. It types the value as Selenium. It click on the Google search button, and it will redirect to the next window. So it is very easy to understand and to learn Selenium, but very important to know to how to locate the element, any element which is present in the website. So this is very small object which we have taken Google part, but if you go for like Amazon, Flipkart, so there will be a lot of features, a lot of objects, a lot of elements are present. To locate that element, you must have a very good knowledge or understanding of this particular concept called object identification method. Sorry. So this is about the first component called Selenium ID. So I will tell you, I will explain the same way. I will show you the complete demo how we can able to run the code in the Selenium WebDriver in Java Eclipse. So before that, I will just show you what all things need to be configured to work in the Selenium WebDriver. So we need Eclipse. Second, we need a testing framework. So here we are going to use the testing framework will be called as a TestNG. TestNG is the framework. Third, we need to select the browser. We need to select the browser. So I'm going to use a browser called Chrome. Number 4, we need all the libraries. Libraries or all the Selenium jar file. These are all the basic things required to create one Selenium WebDriver code inside the Java Eclipse. You need a Java Eclipse platform. You need a testing framework, TestNG framework. You need a browsers. You need to select the appropriate browser, where I have selected a Chrome browser. And all you need all your Selenium jar file and Selenium library. One more, let me show you the Selenium website where you can able to find out all this information. And before that, one more important information that tomorrow training time has been changed. The tomorrow training will be around 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. in the morning. So tomorrow training timing is 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. So what we need to do is we have to go to the Selenium HQ download website. So this is the Selenium official download site. if you go to the Selenium official website, so here you can see, click on the downloads. Here the first thing here you can see latest version Selenium. So 3.14, this is the Selenium latest version. So we have to download this Selenium latest version, and the left side you can see drivers. So if you are using Selenium Internet Explorer, so you have to download the Selenium Internet Explorer driver, and in the bottom you have to select the language. So here you can see there are different language which is supported by Selenium: Ruby, Java, Python, C#, JavaScript. So this is nothing but the web driver. So as I am going to use a Java web driver, so I have to download the Selenium Java web driver. If you are working on C#, so you have to download the C# web driver. The next thing, in the bottom you can see Selenium IDE component. Suppose if you are working on Java Maven project, so you have to download all the Maven related dependency from this particular environment. And one more important thing, as it is an open source, so Selenium is a different, your browser will be a different. So that means I'm going to use a browser called Chrome. Suppose this is the Chrome browser. So I have to go for downloading the Chrome driver. For every single browser, there is a separate drivers are available. If you are working on Internet Explorer, there is a different driver, Mozilla different driver, Chrome has a different driver. So if you come to the Chrome, most of the time what happens, you need to check your Chrome browser. Why? Because if your Chrome browsers and your Selenium latest version, maybe sometime there will be a compatibility issue. So you have to check and download the updated version as per your Chrome version. So I can check my Chrome version. It's 83.0. So I have to download, here you can see, if you are using Chrome version is 83, so I have to download this Chrome driver. If you are using 84, you can go for the 84 version. So if what happened, if I'm selecting the different versions of driver, so what happened when you run your code, your execution won't work. It will throw the error message and it shows there is not a supported version browser you are using. So what all the things you need, you have to download Java Eclipse. You have to download all the Selenium HQ things and everything. You have to download the proper web driver. You have to download the proper browser, Chrome driver or Mozilla driver or Internet Explorer driver. And the third one will be, you have to download and install the testing framework. There are two different testing framework we can able to implement with the help of Selenium. One is JUnit framework, another one will be a TestNG framework, where JUnit framework is basically more important for unit level testing. So conducting functional testing, we will always preferable go for TestNG. And also we have some other added advantage why we are going for the TestNG framework, that is a separate case. Next thing, these two framework can be downloaded and installed inside the Java Eclipse itself. For that also we have a separate website to download. If you go to Google and if you type TestNG, you can see you will be redirected to the TestNG website. And here you can click on the download. And here you can see, suppose if you are creating a Maven project, so you can download the Maven related dependency. Else you can go for the Java. If you are working on the Java project, and you can select the TestNG. You can download and install the TestNG. Either you can install through Eclipse Marketplace from inside Eclipse, or you can copy this link and you can able to download. So today we discussed about what is Selenium, why do we need to learn Selenium, what are the advantage and benefit of learning Selenium, what are the different components are available in Selenium, Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium RC and Selenium Grid, and how we can able to use Selenium IDE component. That I have shown one small demo how we can able to use a Selenium IDE. The next topic and next objective will be, we are going to learn how we can able to write and execute a Selenium test cases through Selenium WebDriver by writing the Java WebDriver code, which we'll discuss on tomorrow. Yes, the tomorrow sections will be at 9:30. Don't forget 9:30 to 10:30. And tomorrow we will be discussing about the WebDriver part. So I will show you the same way how we can able to write the code and run the code through the Java Eclipse using Selenium and TestNG framework.